92's Big Show welcomes Dr. Martha Lee,
Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
the sexyologist.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Okay, shut the door. Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Martha Tara Lee.
Yay! Thank you for having me.
Good morning. Happy
morning.
Friday.
How come you didn't join us last week? You pontang last week.
Because y'all had somebody else.
Oh, did we?
Oh.
Did we have
The
someone
National
else?
Day singer person.
That the
that's
singer
right.
person, Jasmine Soko.
Jasmine
was
Soko
in.
was
That's
last-
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
last
Very
Friday. That's right. That's right.
important.
We had a
Yes.
great conversation with her, but I'll be the first to say there are things we can talk about with you that we could not talk about with her.
Yes.
We wouldn't have chosen to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not everyone
thinking?
is comfortable talking about
Inappropriate.
sex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we definitely would not be talking about that with Jasmine
Yeah,
Soko.
she's a sexologist for a reason, and she's a sexologist. That's why she's on this segment, and she's a doctor at that. So,
She's a professional. So today, Dr. Martha Tara Lee,
Yes.
sex before marriage.
Yeah.
Should people hold out?
yay or nay?
Yeah, should we or should we not? I think we decided on this topic because Glenn mentioned a few times in previous shows that he wished he just held out and waited to have sex before marriage.
Yep.
And then I did some research and I was very surprised that Singaporeans are actually pretty much on the fence about this topic. And attitudes have shifted on the topic of premarital sex. Singaporeans are much more comfortable with it. Not 50-50, but more like from 2013, from 20% to 38% of people who are permissive. Of course, the younger generation, 18 to 35, about 50% are more permissive towards premarital sex.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, so once again, I mean, we brought this up yesterday, right? I would like to encourage our listeners today, our KISS fans, to actually chime in on this because I'm actually keen to say, or rather to see, exactly how much attitudes have shifted. Okay, because obviously it is assumed that the older you are, you come from a generation where it was a little bit more taboo. People are not quite as open or permissive as you said.
We were more conservative.
Yes, but
Okay,
over
maybe
the
not we,
years,
but I mean people.
over the years, while we expect things to have shifted, maybe in the other direction, exactly how much so? Right? So, should we wait? Should we save ourselves for marriage? Let us know what you think. Drop us a WhatsApp at 88550920.
Okay. I think that there are different schools of thought here, so we can continue the conversation. But what is our take, between the three of us?
Save yourself for marriage.
Okay, Tim.
Wow, I'm a little conflicted about this.
Okay.
The religious side of me says save yourself, but the secular side of me says better to find out whether you are compatible in that area before you get married than after.
I tell you, I failed because of the company that I keep. It's true.
Were
do you
you
mean you failed?
pressurized to have
Oh,
sex?
you know what? I'll talk a little bit more about
Okay,
it on the Big Show
let's find
TV.
out.
Meantime, here's Zayn with Die For Me on KISS 92. I think if you stick with like-minded people who who are very, very firm about the fact that they're going to save themselves, for the person they marry,
Then you will as well.
then you will. I think I came very, very close to that. And then suddenly I met a
All the other people.
bunch of people and then
Yeah.
I failed.
Yeah, that's peer pressure, isn't it? Because that
It's
happens.
Not so much pressure, but yeah, the peers. lah.
Yeah,
Your
peers. Because you
yeah.
feel like you need to be a part of the conversation. You feel like you need to be like them, and that's why you keep that company, right?
Actually, I did it because I just felt like I wanted to do it.
You were
know,
missing
I was
out.
attracted. I was
Yeah.
turned on. I was young. I had raging hormones.
But
I mean,
did
I
you feel
still
like
do.
you? Did
Do
you
you
feel
have
like you were
regret
missed?
after?
I did not regret after, but looking back now, I'm thinking like,
On hindsight.
yeah, it would have been nice to have had that special moment
Yeah.
after marriage,
yeah.
on that wedding night. No?
And I think also it depends on when you grew up, right? Because obviously, okay, for the Gen Xers, right? I mean, you are probably going to be in your teenage years, probably around the 90s, 80s, 90s. You're also coming out from the 70s, right? That was the decade of love. Over in the US, everything was, love.
Free
Yeah,
love.
all the hippies and things like that. So depending on how much you were exposed to, you are going to be like, oh, I wonder what that was all about. I am also encouraged to follow suit.
But I
right?
also don't think that anyone's first time, I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone can say that their first time was mind blowing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I feel like if you hold out, let's say you hold out till you get married, and then on that first night of first wedding night, you're like, oh my gosh, is that what it feels like? And
Yeah.
then I'm never going to have a good time. And then you start
No.
getting all these ideas in
and
your
then
head.
like, you mean I waited my whole life for this?
Yeah, but it's okay because I feel like then they will
Grow
continue
together.
to grow together, continue to experiment,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
understand what each other
Pros
likes.
and cons, I guess.
Okay. On two frames of thought,
Yeah.
right? And I think there are conditions to that. For instance, if when we talk about saving ourselves, means you are a virgin.
Yes.
When you get married, or are you saving yourself in that particular marriage? Now, if you have never in that particular relationship, now if you have never ever had sex, slept with anybody in your life, you've got no basis of comparison. So I assume maybe it might be mind blowing because it's the first time. What are you going to compare it to?
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
But maybe you have slept with somebody else in a previous relationship, but for this one, for some reason, one or another, you decided, okay,
wait.
this relationship we will wait.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
also,
I guess, yeah.
turn religious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The converts
Yes.
and all that. There are situations
But
like
we
that.
are
as well.
talking about like remaining a virgin till your wedding.
Yes.
Okay.
Holding out.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
completely
yeah.
holding out. Yeah.
Yes, Glenn is of that thought, surprisingly. But as somebody who's been there,
it is
done that,
surprising, yeah.
right? Been there, done that. Of course, you have regrets of what could have been, but we can't change the past. We can only talk about being better people moving forward. So, what I was surprised in my work when I became a sexologist was the number of clients who came to me who were virgins before marriage, and not just the women but also the men. And when I asked them, I assumed from my studies, it would be because of religious reasons. I was very surprised that a lot of them actually said it's because we are Asians. So
right,
it's
okay.
less of the religion I'm hearing and more of the culture.
Oh.
And I was like, what does being Asian actually mean anyway? Even though we're Asians,
Yeah.
Asians is just a race, but how does that become your value system? So yeah, it's very much apparent, more than people realize in Singapore. You would think that everybody is being very sexually active, but yes, there are people waiting to have sex after marriage.
So you've had all these. Sorry,
Yeah.
Tim.
No, go ahead, go
You've had all these clients, the ones that say they're Asian and they've held out until they get married to have sex. I'm assuming they're all married now. How is their
Yes.
sex life?
Bad. That's why they are coming to see me, right? Those who don't have problems won't come in or pay me. So they are coming in because they do not know how to consummate their marriage. So how can you miss something that you've never had? So if they've never been sexual with someone, some of them will be like, why is sex important? I don't see as important. Some of them do not know how to consummate their marriage. Some of them have vaginismus, which is a condition that happens when the vagina shuts down, making penetration difficult and impossible. Some of them have erectile difficulties. Because of anxiety, they lose their erection when trying to penetrate. Some of them are able to penetrate, but they are not able to sustain their erection, so they cannot ejaculate. So it's very disappointing on all fronts.
Wow. So
There's a lot of
It's very
problems
much
out
a
there.
psychological
Yeah.
thing.
It's all in the head.
Yeah.
You can say it's psychological, but it also can be skill based because they just do not know the bridging between being sexual with yourself and being sexual with someone. So they may not be comfortable with certain things like position or techniques, or maybe they feel overstimulated, like their partner touching them in different ways, and they just feel overwhelmed.
But surely there's sex education videos that they can watch.
A lot of people actually watch porn thinking that that's a form of education, and I actually like to concur it is. But what happens in a lot of porn is you're actually looking at professionals. I call them sex Olympians,
And they've been edited as well.
Yeah, and they make it seem like sex is so
Yeah.
easy, and it creates a lot of anxiety for my clients who feel that they failed.
Yeah.
And a lot of them would say things like, oh, we tried, but we lost the mood. I mean, if you lost it, you can always get it back again. You can always try. You can take a break, take a breather. But a lot of them feel that it's like a all or nothing kind of a thing. Like idea works or it doesn't work,
Yeah,
and
but
then they just blame each other.
I really wasn't referring to porn. I was actually talking about sex,
Sex
education
education
videos.
videos.
you know,
I have
that-
them. I have
Okay.
them.
Okay,
Right,
hold on.
coming up.
Kiss 92 traffic.
If you're at the junction of Ang Mo Kio Avenue 10, Street 52 and Street 54, look out for those traffic lights. They're faulty. On the PIE towards Changi after Pasir Laba, avoid lane 4. A vehicle has broken down. And also on Bukit Timah Road towards Woodlands after Farrer Road, avoid lane 3. A vehicle's broken down there as well. On the SLE towards the CTE after Yio Chu Kang Road, causing backup to Lentor Avenue is an accident in lane 1. Wherever you are this Friday morning, stay safe, please.
Kiss 92 traffic update. Brought to you by BYD. Drop by the BYD Jurong Point Roadshow and discover our latest BYD models. Take a test drive to enjoy free Minions merchandise and a chance to win Minions movie tickets while stocks last.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We are live on Facebook as well as YouTube right now with Dr. Martha Tara Lee, our sexologist. And today we're talking about sex before marriage. Should you wait? And does waiting lead to a happier, more lasting marriage? You've seen quite a number of clients. What do you think, Martha?
Well, I always want to respect their personal choice because they've already made a decision to wait until marriage to have sex. I don't want them to feel any worse about the fact they have difficulties around sex. And so I just talk about if you don't know, you learn. If you learn, you improve. When you improve, then it's all okay. So I normalize the awkwardness and difficulties when it comes to being very unfamiliar about sex.
I remember you mentioning this quite a number of months ago, right? There is a misconception because you are a sexologist, right? That you are always encouraging everybody to get it on, right? But that may not always be the case. You know, I suppose what I'm trying to ask is, what do you feel, right? Do you believe that you should save yourself before you get into marriage? Or is this something you would disagree with?
I feel like it's not necessarily like a magical date or number, because I have seen a lot of my clients who shut down their sexuality. They don't masturbate, or sex is not a priority, and then they wait till marriage and they find that it's difficult, and then they struggle, and then a lot of them actually regret making that decision and say, if I had known it would be like that, I wouldn't have shut it down. Also, when they are dating and they decide not to be sexual, quite a number of them are okay with everything except penetration, but there are those who also do not do anything too sexual, and so what happens is normalizes the lack of sexual chemistry
Between
or
them.
attraction between them. So they are used to being around each other, and then it becomes more like a companion kind of relationship, which also starts to do harm to the relationship because they don't know how to kickstart the sex part of their life.
So I was going to ask that when you say keep yourself for the wedding night, are you saying pre-marriage there's no foreplay at all? You know what I mean? Or do you encourage people to kind of get familiar with each other and all that without doing the do?
Okay, that's not for me to tell people what to do. Most of the time they are already making decisions and they are coming to me because they have difficulties. So difficulties in their relationship, difficulties having sex, some for another, around sexuality, because that's what I specialize in. So I mean, I wish that they would be sexual even if by themselves or be with each other in some form or another. But some of them, they really have the fear of because you know you are after all in a private space with your partner.
Right.
They are really afraid of crossing that line.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, that's very, very true. I think if you have already agreed, right, that you don't want to have
wait,
sex,
yeah.
right, to wait, I think, at least for me, right, if I had already made that decision, I wouldn't want to put myself
Temptation.
exactly right, because it's not a will we go? It's like the struggle is,
It might
can
happen.
I stop myself in time?
Yeah,
you know what I
can
mean?
I control
Especially
myself?
if you were already you've already made that agreement with each other. Got a message coming through from one of our listeners. I'm not going to mention your name, okay? I want to keep all this private. Says
Which one?
Glenn.
No.
It says,
You're not allowed.
no need to wait. I had a breakup during marriage counseling in the past when my ex realized that I'm too big for her. Honestly, it's better to discuss and also try earlier to prevent heartbreak later on.
I'm sure you've seen stuff like
Yes,
that.
there are people who say too big and too small and all
Not
these
compatible
things.
in size.
Yeah,
Too big to stay at the bottom.
the fit, it is true that all of us are structured a little bit different, and there is that fit, that somehow just feels really amazing. And so, yes, if you don't have sex before marriage, you wouldn't know until after. But also, those who choose to not have sex before marriage also recognize that sex is one part of the marriage, not the most important thing to them.
Now, Martha, do you agree that some people just, sex doesn't matter to them? They're not interested. They
Yes,
don't
I have
like
clients
sex.
like that.
And I think for these people, I think it's perfectly okay if it's not an issue.
Yeah,
for them.
of course.
It's okay.
You know what I mean?
It's okay if it's not an issue. If it's okay if it's not an issue for both of them.
Yeah.
But what's happening is it's almost always an issue for one of them.
Right.
And the lack of intimacy may make them feel unloved, rejected, not good enough, not feeling close, or comparing with other people and feeling that this is not normal.
So should they ask each other first before
Correct.
they get into that relationship?
Correct.
Like, do you like sex?
They
How much do
definitely
you
should
like
talk
sex?
about
Oh,
it.
right. Okay,
And
that's
if
a good
both
idea.
parties don't like sex, that's better, right?
Yeah, okay, so we
Yeah,
like,
there'll
yes,
be no
we're on the
problems,
same
right?
page. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But what happens is people change.
Yes,
Yes,
remember
that is
we were
true.
talking about
Yeah.
throughout your lifetime you'd be married to like 7 people. Not in your case, but you know what I mean. Yours would be 10.
Oh no! Don't bully Glenn.
That's right. See,
Why not?
See how she bullies me all the time?
Oh.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Martha on The Big Show TV. It's 9:24.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by
I think
But it is valid what you
Yeah.
brought up. Should you have this conversation before? I mean, if you're not
Definitely.
going to have sex
Yes.
until the night of your wedding, then
Yes.
at least talk about it,
Remember-
right?
Correct.
You're not cheating on anyone.
a couple of weeks ago, right, we were talking about stuff that you should talk about on a first date to get out of the way, to know whether they are deal breakers so you don't waste your time. Maybe this is one of the things that needs to come up.
But no, but on the first date, it's a bit freaky if you start talking about marriage and should we have sex on our first night. That's a bit.
Or how
it's
about
not
those
first
people?
date
Or
conversation?
how about those people who pressurize you to have sex on the first date?
Exactly. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Who?
I've had plenty of people pressurize me.
No,
Yeah,
no,
usually
but
guys will like pressurize
Men
girls.
are like
no,
that. yeah.
no. But I mean, I don't mean like, start discussing whether you're going to have sex on that night
You
itself.
just
I mean,
said.
no, what I'm saying is, should you discuss, is sex something that you want to wait till you're married for? You know what I mean?
So
even if it's
basically,
not
you're
happening,
asking the girl if she's a virgin, right?
Well, regardless of whether she's a virgin, maybe she's a born again virgin. Maybe she's decided whatever in the past was the past.
virgin.
Are there such things?
I don't know, lah,
Really?
but whatever happened in the past is the past. Going forward, I do not want to have sex until I am
I don't
married.
remember all the other encounters.
Yeah.
No. Okay, let's start fresh.
Glenn
right
can
now.
wear
I'm a
white
virgin.
on his next wedding. Glenn.
But yes, I mean, knowing exactly where you stand as it pertains to premarital sex is something I feel should come up early in the relationship. Then after you already started dating, investing, and then after that, one person is gonna feel, oh, I wish I knew this before we got.
When's a good time to have
invested.
that conversation, though? I feel like first date is definitely
Okay,
not
maybe
the
not
time.
the first
maybe a
date,
couple
but-
of dates into it.
Yeah, before you're too invested.
Yeah, I think there are some topics to talk about, like what counts as sex for those who choose to abstain until marriage. What would cross the boundary? What if one wants sex more often in the relationship, and there are expectations around initiation, orgasm, contraception, fertility, and children? How about like porn, masturbation, sex history, STI testing, sexual difficulties? Like how they want to navigate all these potential difficulties that might come up, even though it hasn't happened yet. So, like what Angel said, it's really important to talk about it rather be on the same page and not be disappointed. Because I have clients, they wait till marriage and then they realize they're not on the same page when it comes to sex and sexual frequency.
That really boggles the mind, because how can you not have these important conversations before you get married?
Because I think a lot of us are not taught what to look out for,
What to ask
and
as well.
what is a healthy relationship.
Yeah,
So a lot of us
communication
just
is
go
so
in
bad.
blind.
Or we
Terrific
take it for
communication.
granted.
Yeah.
I mean, we have education for almost everything else, driving or
Yeah.
computer.
What are we missing?
Finance. Yes, we are not getting enough education around sex and intimacy and relationships.
relationships.
So that's
Yeah.
why the call for comprehensive sexuality education, which
Yeah.
doesn't mean in those
Sex
classes
education.
they are teaching sex. They are actually teaching healthy relationships.
When do you think they should start? In school? Like
Yeah,
secondary?
they should start
what?
as soon as possible, and things like anatomical names being used, and also the concept of consent and what feels use like safe and unsafe touch, and how to say no, how to deal with rejection, how to speak up for yourself. Like these are all things that I wish I learned.
And teaching people that no is actually a full sentence.
Yes,
Doesn't need to come
But
with
at the
a
same
no,
time,
it's a full sentence.
let's not play games. If you mean yes, don't say no, and then wish that the person had pushed, had urged you more. Because to some people, it is like a freaking game.
Yeah,
they don't
it's
want to
like
say
a
what they
game.
mean.
No,
Just
but actually they
mean
mean
what
yes.
you say. Say what you mean, right? But I do think it is very sad, right, to start off a relationship or a new marriage, right, and not enjoy that aspect to its fullest, the physical aspect. Because honestly, most people will say, and it happens to the best of us, the longer you are in a marriage or a relationship, it is going to get less, it is going to get worse. The best is always going to be at the beginning. So if you start off bad already, or you don't want to enjoy that part, wow, susah
Where you
lah,
gonna end
habis,
up,
you're
yeah.
never going to have it.
Also, what happens to most of us, we actually remember our first time a lot.
Yeah.
So like our first
No
day
matter
of
how bad.
school, our
Yeah.
first kiss, the first time we have sex,
course.
the first time we make out. So these can be imprinted into us, and if it's bad, like what Tim is saying, if it's bad, it can start off on the wrong note and it can be traumatic. So people who have had traumatic experiences, they may find it very difficult to recover from it. They may find that they don't really want to,
Try
they
again.
are afraid of sex, and then sex becomes a problem. Sex
Right.
becomes the enemy.
Just think of it as, that was so bad. How much worse can it get?
No, but for some people it might be painful as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be.
Painful, then you have to
Yeah.
just go and see a doctor already.
And then there's
Yeah.
the misconception that if sex is something that's supposed to be natural, we are made for sex, it should be natural, then they forget that sexual skills is also something that
Yeah.
needs to be learnt.
Yeah,
Also,
that's
bro,
true.
I would never, don't ever say that. Oh, how much worse can it get? Right? Then the universe will go, oh, you think it can't get worse? Ta-da! And they'll be, alamak.
Here it comes on a silver platter.
Personally, for me, every single time I am physically intimate with someone for the first time, it's usually bad. It's because they are very excited, they are anxious, they are rushing, and they are maybe like very rough and a bit overpowering. And even though I communicate and say slow down and things like that,
Why
they
they
are
like
just
that?
like little excited puppies,
Maybe-
you know.
Yeah,
Little
why?
excited puppies.
Yeah.
Dr. Martha, maybe you should take that as something to be flattered about. That you excite them so much that you've driven them wild with passion.
Yeah, they're so crazy, you know.
Yes.
I feel like they all need to be tied down.
Because I feel like, honestly, if you have a
Maybe
woman,
that's what
right,
they want.
you have a woman who, if it was really boring, right, or it was very safe, then she might go like, oh, maybe I don't inspire that passion out of him. Oh, I'm so
Is
sad.
that the
I'm
voice?
not hot enough. I don't turn him on. He's not like a wild animal.
What is that voice,
It's
Timo?
not like that Mills and Boons novel which I read when I was
Yeah.
growing up. He didn't get me in the throes of passion.
It's true, I have clients who said that how is their sex not the same as those novels that they read?
Oh my
They don't
gosh.
feel that earth-shattering orgasms.
That's why
Yes.
porn is terrible because people expect it to be all
but
high
all the
heels
guys that
and-
you're with, right, who treated you that way, they're all amateurs, obviously.
Wow, listen to him.
Really.
Well, isn't
you
it
should
good?
always follow the pace of the lady.
Of course.
Yes.
Yes, you take her cues.
Always start gentle. You can tell immediately if she wants to be kissed a little bit harder or whatever.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
I
If
feel
he-
yes.
I was going to say, if he was an amateur, then it's also something reassuring. Then he's not some playboy who's been around and very
Oh,
experienced.
yes, but do I want to be a teacher when I'm not paid?
Exactly
Ooh,
right.
I
There
like
you
that.
go.
No,
I
no,
understand
I
where
don't-
she's coming from.
I don't work when I'm not paid.
She's like, I'm not your instructor.
Precisely. So
Maybe that's what they want from you.
So
Just
I,
to be a
I,
sexologist.
I think it's okay to give each other feedback, but not
Feedback.
feel that you are teaching.
My survey.
It's like after the whole thing, it's like, all right, let's
Feedback
down
form.
for a
Can you
debrief.
scan this QR code?
So do you ever tell them slow down? Hey, slow down,
I
tiger.
do.
And do they?
Okay, for the longest time, I always tell them slow down. I tell them softer, and I always feel overstimulated, like I feel sore. So what I learned was instead of telling them softer, I should have said something more specific, like 50% softer. That worked, by the way. That worked.
50%.
Yeah, I don't know how they know the
What
difference with 50 versus like 39.9. But
It's alright. If you're with an Asian lover, he'll get it.
Okay. Or if he's a manual driver, you can drop gear, drop gear.
yeah, the engineers will get it.
Okay. No need high gear. Clutch in. All right.
Yes, so you'll be surprised. A lot of my clients are engineers, doctors, and lawyers.
Oh.
Yeah, the more heady kind of jobs, and their profession, does say a lot about how they think and approach sex, like in a very mechanical, logical way. And so when it's very fluid, go with the flow, it's actually scary for them. Okay, coming back to our topic today.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was still part of our topic. Actually.
No,
Okay,
but
go
coming back to the main
Lesson
topic
number
today,
one.
talking about premarital partners, there are studies in the US saying that those who have more premarital partners, this is actually associated with higher divorce rate. So those with 9 or more partners have the highest rate, and those with no partners before marriage have the lowest rate.
Of
so
divorce?
yes, of
Okay.
divorce. So following Glenn's train of thought, right, which is we should wait until sex, until marriage to have sex. It seems like that works, but also we have to keep in mind the association is not causation. It's not causation. So what we mean is those people who happen to have less divorce, maybe that's the reason, is because they are choosing not to divorce because of maybe other
Religious,
factors
Yes.
like
yeah.
religion, family, their attitude towards marriage, the ability to give and take,
Yeah,
their
their
age,
vows.
their education,
Afraid to go to hell.
or their risk-taking behaviors. So yes, you can say all this about how religion can play a part, or culture can play a part, values can play a part. But I think the more important thing, rather than just black and white or for or against premarital sex, I would say it's the skills around it that a lot of people are lacking.
Yeah, because I mean, you may say religion, but you also mentioned cultural, because in some cultures, if a woman gets divorced, she can never get married again.
Yeah.
Nobody will touch her. You know, so it's scary for.
Because she's been tainted. Is
Yes,
it?
No, exactly, yeah.
I can say, and I think I'll always say, as I mentioned, I am against premarital sex.
Yes, we
Right,
heard
we
you.
should.
Yeah,
I mean, right?
of
I mean,
course.
that should be our stand.
That is what we tell our children.
Okay.
Kiss 92. Kiss 92 traffic.
If you're around the Ang Mo Kio Avenue 10, Street 52 and Street 54 junction, look out for a faulty traffic lights there. Also on the PIE towards Changi, broken down vehicle after Pasir Laba, avoid lane 4.
Kiss 92 traffic update. Brought to you by BYD. Drop by the BYD Jurong Point Roadshow and discover our latest BYD models. Take a test drive to enjoy free Minions merchandise and a chance to win Minions movie tickets while stocks last.
Who's in the studio? It's Dr. Martha Tara Lee, our sexologist. Okay, close the door again.
All right. Now, I got a message here from one of our listeners. Says, I feel like if the couple is going for premarital sex, then it is better for them to have a health check. I had a close friend who got an STD from her ex because the ex-boyfriend admitted he had a few one-night stands before getting together with my friend. They only found this out after he got diagnosed.
Yes, you can't tell from looking at someone their sex history.
Yeah, that's true. But also, I mean, it's not exactly something that you ask for when you first get into a relationship, right?
We
It's like,
should.
But I think
Really?
that more so to ask
Yeah.
whether they've been checked or they're safe or whatever it is more a conversation to have than would you have sex on the first
I
night
feel
of
like
your
it's very
Yes, so
it's
the
very
younger-
intrusive because there's a certain I'm implying
Stigma.
yes I'm implying that you
anything.
were naughty and you were sleeping around, so you have a disease.
Yeah, but if
No, but
I-
it takes just one person that you sleep with to
Yeah.
have that disease.
No, and
Doesn't
these
mean you're a
people
player.
probably don't even protect themselves.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah.
Right?
And what I'm exposing myself to, right? So from the younger Martha would not know what to say, and therefore don't say anything and just be go along with the other person. But as I got older and having had STIs myself, STI tests, and also gotten STIs that were treated.
Who? You've got an STI?
Yes, I have had.
Okay.
Okay, so you
No
have to know.
judgment.
You have to know, as somebody who has a vagina, you are 2 times more likely to catch a sexually transmitted infection because the vagina is much shorter than the penis, the urethra of the penis. So in general, women are much more susceptible to getting an STI. So yes, I have had STI tests. I have had STIs. I have been treated for it, and having been there, done that, the younger Martha didn't know better. And having had to go through these kind of procedures and spend money, whereas the other person has moved on with their lives, I feel it's really important to ask your partners, and you have a right to ask your partner about their STI status.
And I think girls need to have more power with asking the men to use condoms.
Exactly. I
You know
think
what I mean?
that's very, very
and,
important.
And
Insist
the
on
men
it.
at the same time have to have more responsibility
Yeah.
and insist.
All that shame about buying condoms and all that. No, I see it as women empowerment, you know.
Exactly,
I'm taking
yeah.
charge of my sexual health.
Plus,
Absolutely.
now you can buy what do you call your condoms online, so it's very discreet anyway. If
It
you're
is.
not, you know,
Yeah, that
you can buy
also-
like 5 boxes and just keep it at home.
And the education as
Yes,
well.
and-
Women who travel around with condoms, I mean, what does that say about them? I mean, men who carry it in their wallets, it's fine.
Who cares? Why do you
Yeah,
care even?
but no, but
It means
that's
I'm
not me.
prepared.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, to the guys as well. I don't understand men, especially you get into a new relationship, or even if it's a one night stand, right? Or you're trying to sow your seeds. Why would you not want to use a condom? Because I actually know guys who when the women have asked, the guy will say, no, it doesn't feel as good, or for whatever reasons, I don't want to use one. You mean you would rather get the person pregnant or get a
Exactly.
disease?
Let me just tell
Exactly.
you. Let me just tell you this. Okay, this might surprise you. The number of women who don't like
Oh.
their men wearing a condom because they don't feel comfortable, it will surprise you.
Oh, so it's not always the guys that
No,
don't want. Oh,
no, it's the ladies who don't like, you know.
I
the
think it's a
the
little bit of
condom
both. I think
sometimes.
we
Yeah.
don't point fingers.
But just be firm.
Yeah,
you know,
both ways.
I love wearing condoms.
Both ways.
So I mean, no issues there.
Yeah.
But there are many men who don't like wearing
Yep.
condoms. And I say it again. There are many women who would rather
Not have
their
a condom.
partner not wear a condom as well.
I'm sure they would like getting an STI even less, or
You're
getting
right.
suddenly have an unplanned baby even less. Right?
Yeah. Protect yourself, guys.
Okay, up next, New Jeans. This is Ditto on Kiss 92.
Yeah, so I think that stigma about carrying condoms, using condoms, opening your mouth about using protection should fall on both sexes, right?
Definitely. So, following what Tim said, one of the things I would ask someone is, can I ask when was the last time you had an STI test? So that answer will give me a gauge of whether they go for testing or they don't, or they will say things like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm very clean." Okay, don't ever believe people
Yeah.
like that.
Is that enough for you? Not them just saying I got a test. Do you need to see physical proof of the report?
I think you can tell from the person's face.
Is
you
it
know?
the same STI and
STD?
HIV
Yes, so
test?
STI is the full test, right?
How do you go for
all
that?
the different tests? You just go to a GP,
GP,
or better yet, a DSC clinic at Kelantan Lane.
Or maybe it's something you can go together. Right?
Yes.
Who would go? I mean, but people who
Lots of people go.
will probably have like some symptoms. You
No,
know,
no,
and
no,
then they'll
I'm a
go.
regular.
I think it's good to
Because
go.
if you go
yeah.
for a regular health check, right? So on a yearly basis, you get tested for HIV.
Okay, if
I
you're
know that.
sexually active, as in you're sexually active every 6 months, but if you have multiple partners, maybe every 3 months. So for me, when I'm between relationships, like a relationship ended, I would want to go for tests, and there is also a window period, right, of at least 2 weeks. And for the definitive answer with regards to HIV, it can be as short as 2 weeks, but the definitive test will be 3 months.
So it's like an incubation period before it shows
yes.
up.
Before the antibodies start to show up in your body.
I think of Virai Swaku. I apologize. Okay, I've never gone for one of these tests.
Yeah, neither have I.
What exactly does it entail?
I mean,
the first time I'm hearing about
I've been
this.
because of pap
Oh
smears.
my
I mean, we go to
God!
the
What am I
No.
learning about all of you?
I'm just doing
No,
the
no, them,
annual
them.
the annual HIV test.
No.
Is it a blood
Oh,
test?
no.
What is it?
But-
What test is this?
You know, for a lot of penis owners, they are asymptomatic.
Boys.
Asymptomatic.
there are some
Okay,
women who
okay.
might consider
Granted.
themselves penis owners
Asymptomatic
too.
means there's no symptoms.
Right.
So HIV is
show.
not enough.
No, but
like
Okay.
for instance, there's syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia.
Okay.
there's-
But what do they do? Do they inject you? Do you draw
yeah,
blood? What
they
is
do
it?
a blood test,
Ah.
and then in my case, they also do a
Pap smear,
swab.
swab.
Yes, they do a
Oh.
swab.
Yeah.
And okay, in Singapore, Kelantan Lane, they are run by the government.
That's like
and,
Little India, by
they
the
are
way.
under National Skin Centre officially, but it's a centre that specializes in all things STI. So the good thing about going there is that it's very affordable. The entire all the tests done at one shot, and it's just 100 plus. Whereas if you go to a private clinic, it will be like 3 times more.
Glenn,
Three times more. Like
Glenn's going to a
300.
private clinic. He's not going to
No
Kelantan.
idea about
No.
this.
I-
So
yeah, me
boys
too.
should get checked.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
especially those who are not married and who are not with one partner.
Yeah, are there
multiple
self-test
partners,
kits?
then it would be an option.
Yeah,
And also for peace of mind, to
Yeah.
make your future partner also feel that you are a responsible,
Yeah.
mature adult who's taking care of your health and also their health.
So there's no
this is
self-test kit, huh?
Kelantan
There is
Lane.
HIV self-testing kits nowadays.
But HIV or all STIs?
Only HIV.
Oh, okay.
There are some other tests for some other STI, but seriously, not all. Not all of them are self-testing
Just
available.
go to your private
The
doctor.
number
Yeah.
of people are being educated right now by
Yeah.
listening to us, I think, is shocking.
I'm just amazed that,
No, I'm amazed that you think that everybody knows about this.
No, I'm amazed
STI
that y'all
tests.
don't know. I don't know about other people, but I'm talking about
So we
three
can't
of you.
we can't assume that. Well, no, I go on for my test with Pap smear, so I'm checked out all
We
the
all
time.
women
Right?
that's
go
just
for
pap
that,
smear.
right?
Doesn't the Pap smear check for STIs?
No,
You
the
see
pap
what I
smear
mean?
just checks for what's happening on your cervix.
Now she's surprised. Now
Now
her
I'm
eyes are big.
surprised.
There.
It doesn't check for everything.
Also, don't be judgy to me. I've been a one-woman man for the last how many years?
Same.
Decades,
Okay, I'm impressed.
So,
I'm impressed.
Same.
yeah. So
Same.
if I got something, I know exactly who I got it from.
Oh, okay. DSC
He's talking
Clinic.
to his wife.
It's the Department of the STI Control. It's run by the National Skin Centre, as she mentioned. It's located at Kelantan Lane 01-16.
And where do you
Okay.
say Kelantan Lane?
31
You-
Kelantan Lane. It's near Little India.
You mean it's not in Malaysia?
No, it's the lane, not the state. Yeah.
Of course,
So,
it's near Little India.
Department
Who doesn't know that?
Of Sexually Transmitted Infections Control.
Okay, I like going there. I'm a regular, like I said, because
And you,
because
she's so happy.
Usually when I go, I
Means
actually
she's having sex.
No, it means I'm having
With
a
one of the staff
situation.
there.
Let her
at
talk.
Kelantan
Let her
Lane.
talk.
I'm having a situation where I've had sex, and I'm having an itchy vagina. Put it
Okay,
simply, my
alright.
vagina is itchy, is burning. I want immediate help, and they are not going to give me treatment if I'm not tested.
I
So
regret
I'm
saying
not
let
going to
her
go to a
talk.
GP clinic and they don't have stock for the medication, and then they go for tests and then go and send somewhere for the biopsy. The results. I don't want to wait, so I just go to DSC clinic immediately. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay,
if,
wait,
if
wait.
you were not Dr. Martha Tarali, I'll go like, whoa, too much information.
So for the women as well, checks for STIs are also through a blood test and a swab.
Yeah, they
Right?
will do that.
Both.
Okay, so the thing is, because I know my body very well, so I know the symptoms, so I can tell them what I suspect is happening. Okay, this is too much information, but this is for
It's for everybody watching us
yes,
on
it's
Facebook.
for everybody.
Okay, you got 29 seconds. Go on, go on.
Okay, so basically, if I have if I receive cunnilingus, what happens is often it affects the pH level of my vagina, so I will have weird discharge. So it doesn't necessarily mean I'm not having safer sex or non-condom sex.
Right.
Even just exchange of bodily
Body
fluids
fluids.
like saliva affects me.
I
Wow,
see,
okay. All right.
So you're a bit more sensitive than most
I'm
people.
very sensitive.
Okay, snap. Bella K with I Deserve Better right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. It's Glenn, Angel, Tim, and Dr. Martha Tara Lee, our sexologist. You've joined us at the tail end of the show, but you can watch the full episode on our Facebook page.
Yes, we were having a very interesting conversation about pH levels just before we came back on air.
Yes, if you missed anything at all, it's YouTube and Facebook, Kiss 92 FM.
Okay, so Martha, we're talking about should we save ourselves for marriage or otherwise. Some of the people who come to see you were mentioning earlier on, saved themselves. So they were virgins when they got married, and then after that, now they're having all kinds of issues. So do you think it's a communication thing?
Oh, it's more than
Mainly.
that. I feel it's very difficult, first of all, if you haven't talked about sex your whole life, to suddenly feel that you need to talk about things that are very awkward or your whole life being treated as a taboo subject. So just because you have that marriage license doesn't mean everything is easy, including communication. So they don't have the practice of talking about sex, the topic. And then because they are inexperienced, so they don't know what they don't know, and they don't know what they are supposed to feel. They don't
Right.
know what's normal. They don't know what to ask for. They don't know what feels good. They just don't know a lot of things.
They're just very awkward.
And very confused. So it's good to get support, and I'm really proud of those people who actually seek support the moment they realize it's an issue, because they don't want this to affect the goodwill of the marriage. So I have had clients, they couldn't consummate their marriage, and then even come to me the day after their wedding because
Wow.
they couldn't consummate their marriage.
Yeah.
Right.
So it is it goes to show how determined they are. to
Make
make
it
sure
work.
that things work. Yeah.
But is
Does that
it
happen?
easier to treat them because they treat them? I mean, easier to solve their issues because they're first timers to
Because
begin
they
with?
are
And they come early on, and they're both
Yes.
willing to learn,
Yes.
right?
So the willingness is a big factor versus my clients who have had issues for like years.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we gotta go. Before we let you go, would you like to say anything else? Anything coming up?
Thank you for having me, and
Okay.
please check out my website. That's eroscoaching.com. I do run a few fun shows. There's a sex positive comedy that I'm running every month, and then I'm starting a new storytelling comedy show called Baba Black Sheep. So people come on stage and then talk about why they are the black sheep of their family.
Not
and
safe for children, right?
not safe for children. So yeah, talk about how they are the black sheep of their family, and we just celebrate differences.
oh, nice.
Oh.
Okay.
Where is
Okay.
this happening?
So this is happening, of course, at the Black Sheep Bar.
So what you can do is you can go online to eroscoaching.com, spelled EROS, to find out all.
By any chance, is Black Sheep Bar, is it at Kelantan Lane?
Oh, right next door.
Okay, because while you go for the show, you go and get a check as well.
Glenn, Tom, and
All right, thank you
Kimbo.
so much, Dr. Martha Tarali.
Thank you.
Go big or go home. Wake up, turn up. The Big Show.